What's going on, YouTube? In this video, we're going to talk about how to activate your insurance, activate your authority, and get approved by Amazon without having a truck. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
I've wanted a lot of things that I couldn't have. I've done a lot of things that I shouldn't have. But I live with no regrets because I wouldn't be here if I...
Alright, so this has been the most requested question in my inbox and in comments is how do you activate your insurance, activate your authority, or even get approved with Amazon without a truck, which I was able to do all three. And it's very smooth and very simple. So let's first start with activating your insurance, because you're going to need to activate your insurance before you can do the other two. So starting to activating your insurance, like I explained in my how to start a box truck business under $3,500, as you can see right here. You know, with my insurance, or with getting any insurance, they're gonna want, well, put it like this, with Progressive, I have a scheduled policy and I have a hired policy. So let me explain what that is. A scheduled policy is just a basic policy for a vehicle. So I have a policy that has a specific VIN number for a vehicle. So most insurance companies are going to require you to have a scheduled policy, have an actual VIN number to attach to your policy, at least to activate your insurance. But I also have a hired policy. Another type of policy is called an any auto, which is pretty much the same thing as a hired policy. So a hired policy or an any auto policy allows for you to rent a vehicle and still be covered. So no matter what rental vehicle you rent with, Ride or Enterprise, Budget, you'll be covered. Any of their vehicles. It's not VIN specific. So when renting a truck, you know, usually they're going to want you to have a hired policy, or at least in rider situation, you can use their insurance if you don't have a hired policy to cover your liability or physical damage. So going forward with activating your insurance, so this is what I had to do. I had to get a VIN number. To get a VIN number, you're going to have to call around to different rental companies. Or it's going to be a challenge because a lot of rental companies don't understand what you're trying to do. They don't understand that you're trying to rent a truck for your business. All they understand is you need to get a hired policy. They don't understand that the insurance company is not going to give you a policy without a VIN number, because the insurance company needs a VIN number so that they can know how much the property is worth, or the vehicle is worth, you know, the value of the vehicle. So that's why they need a VIN number. And it's kind of hard to explain this to a lot of people who work in the front desk at the rental companies. I mean, they just don't understand what we're trying to do. So you're just going to have to call around, try your best to explain, and get that VIN number. You know, my Progressive specifically told me to get a substitute VIN number or a dummy VIN number, or any VIN number from a vehicle that you probably will be using at, you know, whatever rental company that I had planned on going with, which I went with Ryder. So, one, I did not get a VIN from Ryder. I called Ryder twice, two different Ryder locations, and neither one gave me a VIN. I actually knew someone who was renting a truck, and they told me that they called Penske. I called Penske and told them exactly what I was trying to do, and right away they gave me a VIN. So, I mean, maybe try calling Penske, try calling Ryder. Get a VIN from a friend, I mean, who has a truck. It doesn't really matter because you're going to have a hired policy anyway, so you're going to be covered. Even when you get the truck, if you want to call in and update them on your new VIN number, which you can do that, just be careful of that, because, you know, the value of the vehicle is going to be based on that VIN number. But here's a little tip. I told them that the vehicle was worth about 25,000, 20 to 25,000. I mean, when in reality the vehicle is probably worth a lot more than that, because the truck that Ryder gave me was actually a 2019 starting out, so it probably was worth a lot more than 25,000. But I mean, so on my insurance, it actually says the stated value of the vehicle is 25,000. But either way, I have physical damage coverage with Ryder anyway, because they don't accept Progressive's physical damage coverage. To be quite honest, I don't think Progressive even have a physical damage coverage. Every time I tried to explain to Progressive about physical damage, they was really confused. So I don't think that's a policy that they write. So if you're using Ryder, they won't accept physical damage from Progressive. So if you have another insurance company, you probably have better luck. All right. So once you have a VIN number, now you can activate your insurance. So if you're in your 21-day vetting process with the FMCSA to activate your motor carrier authority, you definitely want to have your insurance active at least 3 to 5 days. I did it probably about a week out, 7 days, but at least 3 to 5 days. It's going to at least take 48 hours for them to report to the your insurance company to report to the FMCSA. All they have to do is send over one form saying that you have the minimum coverage, and you're good to go as far as insurance-wise with the FMCSA. So after that, your authority can now be active on the 21st day, as long as you meet all the other requirements like the BOC3, the UCR, and so forth. So your question is, do you have to prove that you have a truck, that you own a truck when you get in your authority? No, they don't ask you the VIN number when you're applying with the FMCSA. They don't ask any details about your vehicle. Just state you're going to have either one vehicle or one vehicle. That's all you have to state. They're not going to ask any specifics about the vehicle. So if you activate your insurance, now on the 21st day, your authority is going to be active. Now going forward, how do we get on with Amazon? Once again, Amazon didn't ask any specific details about the vehicle. All they cared about is your authority active and do you meet their insurance requirements? So if you're using the strategy of starting out with the minimum insurance requirements just to meet the FMCSA's requirements, that way your down payment can be as cheap as possible. That's also a tip that I talked about, how to get started video for under $3,500. If you're going to use that tip of starting out with the minimum coverage, so your down payment is minimum, and then once your authority goes active, then you bump your coverage up to meet the industry standard, which is usually $100,000 in cargo and usually $1 million in liability, and Amazon's is even a little bit more. But either way, as long as you meet Amazon's insurance requirements, you're good to go. You don't need a truck. They don't ask you specific details about a truck. They ask you how many trucks you have, and it's usually just one. Or if you got starting out with 2 trucks, it's 2. So there you go. That is pretty much how you, 1, activate your insurance, 2, activate your authority, and 3, get approved, be a carrier with Amazon without a rental vehicle. If y'all have any more questions, feel free to email me. And if you made this far in the video, go ahead and like, subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos. Peace.
Everything I used to dream being real right